Kensington and Chelsea Council's cabinet meeting, the first since the Grenfell Tower Block fire, was called off just after 20 minutes last night after the local authority was forced to allow the press in. Councillors claimed not holding the session in private could affect the inquiry into the disaster. Reya El Salahi was there for London Live. Reya, there were angry scenes, to say the least.
A furious response from those gathered here hoping to enter last night's council meeting, which was scheduled to start at 6:30. And it was at that time that we were told neither press or members of the public would be allowed into the town hall here in West London. A short while later, we were hearing that actually the press would be allowed in, and that was after a court order forced the council to take that decision, a decision which was made according to the local authority's website. A notice posted there yesterday stated that it was a decision taken due to safety concerns. But as I say, soon after, the council did allow reporters in, but not any members of the public, and that included North Kensington residents and supporters of the Justice for Grenfell campaign, who, although small in their number, were gathered here last night in the hope of entering the first cabinet meeting since the Grenfell Tower fire tragedy. And it was at that time that I spoke to some of the Londoners banned from entering this building.
Everything comes to the press. You will not talk to ordinary residents of North Kensington, and then you wonder why we are anxious. We are exhausted. We are absolutely and utterly exhausted, and we're angry. I happened to be passing on my way home from work, and somebody told me this was happening, and that's why I've come here, thinking perhaps I'd be allowed in. Well, the message is that they blatantly don't care about the community. We are normal, ordinary, working class people. I'm a teacher. Why isn't it safe to talk to me? Goodness me.
I think it's absolutely disgusting. It just shows them up for what scumbags, crooks they are. I wasn't a resident of Grenfell, but I mean, I followed the whole thing along, and it's just so awful. I just wanted to come and show some solidarity with the people that have had been victims of this terrible tragedy.
All I'm here to do is to support my fellow people, you know, as a human, and the fact that the press are being allowed in and not the residents themselves, it's just degrading. It's treating the residents like cattle. It's saying you're not good enough to be in this room with us. It's saying that you, the residents, the survivors of Grenfell, are not good enough to be in there. You know, this is one of the survivors here, and she has been incredible.
I'm a survivor. I'm a local resident, a member of Justice for Grenfell.
Justice for Grenfell.
We will have justice for Grenfell.
And that is someone that needs to be listened to.
And angry scenes replicated inside this building last night when Conservative Council leader Nicholas Paget-Brown read a statement which revealed the meeting was to be scrapped, and due not to fears of public safety, as previously said, but instead due to legal advice claiming it would prejudice the forthcoming public inquiry.
I would like to have had a conversation, but I'm advised that we can't do that because we will prejudice.
An absolute fiasco. This is why I am calling for your resignation. Not because of what happened with the fire, but the sheer and ongoing incompetence that this council has shown ever since it happened.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. I'm afraid my advice is that we can't continue.
You keep telling me you're taking advice. You're taking the wrong advice. You are not facing up to your own residents or even your own councillors.
Labour councillor Robert Atkinson there joining calls for the council leader to resign, as he explained following that exchange.
He's supposed to be the leader of the council. He's supposed to lead. He has been hiding away for a week, and all he's been able to do is to read out a statement. He is not leading. The council is not leading. We've got junior officers who have worked themselves into the ground and who are doing a brilliant job. But if they're not led and they have no political leadership, and this lot don't have the guts to stand up and to explain what's happening and to provide leadership, then we're not going to get anywhere.
Now, in a statement posted after the cabinet meeting was scrapped, Kensington and Chelsea Council leader Nicholas Paget-Brown had this to say: "We're under sustained media criticism for a slow reaction to the fire, non-visibility and for failing to invest in North Kensington. I believe that many of these criticisms need to be challenged, but I can think of nothing more demeaning to the memory of those lost and missing in the fire than seeking the resolution of political scores." That said, this will do little to restore the confidence in the local authority, who face fierce criticism for those demanding justice for all who lost their lives, loved ones and homes in the tragedy at Grenfell Tower. Now, among those calling for the council leader to resign today is Sadiq Khan, who has described the situation as begging belief.